The Memorial Day Bomb Weekend Edition. Bottom Line Bombs edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You can win up to 100 times your entry with the Underdog Fantasy Pick'em. Sign up with the code BOMBS to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com promo code BOMBS. Also brought to you by the Mega Memorial Merch Sale. 15% off of everything in the SGPN merch store with promo code SGPN. May. Now we start the show, and I will count it down. Now I'll just start. Yes, welcome to the Bottom Line Bombs. I am your host, the man in the box. The laddie daddy. That's a fireman's ladder going up. The laddie daddy. The bet detective. I don't know. I don't have a bet detective sound. Well, bet detective had animals. That's good. I gotta get that Fred Garvin noise for that though. Anyway, I'm bet detective, laddie daddy, scumbagger Vance, the man in the box, CJ Sullivan. Here, I want to keep adding nicknames like Apollo Creed and the one Rocky. Remember when he kept going all the names? The Master of Disaster. And he said, "Hey, can you have any more nicknames there? Football player." That's Rock joking around. Anyway, it's Monday, May 23rd. Not surprised. It is this day. That's what I was told the angle to go with. Instead of every day going like, oh my God, we're almost the end of May. We're almost at the end of May. And then it's gonna be, oh my Lord, we're in June. Not shocked at all. This is how the calendars work. It goes one day at a time. It continues on. You can't go backwards. I will say this. May has gone by very quickly. The month, fast. The year, not so much. 2024 has been long. May hasn't been. This is the 18th month of 2024. It has to be, by my calculations. Anyway. Welcome to the show. It's a long holiday weekend, Memorial Day. I don't know if I'm doing the show Memorial Day or if it'll be on Tuesday, but we'll get to that later. Who cares? It's a long weekend, so we're going to give you some bombs. NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs for tonight and tomorrow and maybe through the weekend. UFL games. I'll save that for the UFL show, which is on after this. And, of course, a man in the box. I got a lot of man in the box. I'll talk some Memorial Day, some barbecuing maybe. Always a hot topic, barbecuing. But let's talk about what's going on here now in my life, in your life, C-Generates. Welcome, C-Generates. Come on in. Big gambling news. Sort of. The Circa Contest came out today. The rules, it's opened up for the public. That's how this Man in the Box Bottom Line Bomb show started. When I came out here over at SGPN, a little long ago, a little over a year and a half ago, maybe. I'm trying to think how long I've been here, actually, now, doing this show. I've done 2 football seasons. So this will be my 3rd coming up. So I guess that equals 3. That can't be right, can it? Shh. I just went over how I'm not going to be surprised about Dades going and how time progresses. And now I just did that in my head. Wait a minute. This will be my 3rd football season, but I started the football season. So it was 1 full calendar year and then whatever. It doesn't matter. Point is I started with the football and that was the hook. That's Sean and Kramer who didn't know what to think of the man in the box over here, the scumbagger Vance. So I came in like, well, you're going to need an angle. You're going to need that football contest or something that the fans can hold on to. And all that did was soak me with my money. I remember Ryan Kramer gave me the up and down look, and he tested me with if I was a real degenerate. He thought I was just some loudmouth comic who wanted to, which I am, but wanted to, without any of the weight behind it of gambling. And I got the scars, and he saw it once he told the story. And then it's on my Patreon, the gambling journey, the CJGJ. Anyway, the point is the Circa Millions, the casino in Las Vegas downtown by Derek Stevens, that we also do business with at the VSiN Network. Sean and Ryan have a show in there on Friday nights. I'm on there usually weekly. Been guests. All the people here at SGPN have been guests on the VSiN shows. So we're in ties. I need to get a better room rate. That's for damn sure. They came out with their Survivor Contest with a new guarantee of $10 million. And then they have the Circa Million Contest, $6 million. So 16 combined guaranteed $1 million. So we'll be doing a contest again this year. They didn't really change much at all. Just added more money, which is fine, I guess. I used to go through... I used to complain about it because that's what I do. Then I realized, quit your crying and just rob. And I'm going to have to start stealing money to get max entries. Here's the thing with Survivor. It's $1,000 to enter. And that's, we pick one game a week. I just got to win. It's a lot more difficult than you think, but it's fun for sure. And you can do 10 entries. So I would always not complain about that, but I'm like, it's definitely an unfair advantage for someone who has 10 entries to the person who has one. It's just a mathematical thing. And there's some people, they buy in that it was 10 entries for the Thursday game, week 1, shove all in. If they lose, oh well, buy 10 more. Buy 10 more. Friday game in Brazil, sure, brick it, whatever. And I was like, man, that's just not fair. They should cap that off. If you really are a contest for the working man, which they say they are, everyday person can any schlub can do it. Well, then don't let someone go in there with 40K as opposed to someone with 1. But I'm like, that's not the way. That's not what you do. They're not in casinos aren't in the business of making less money. As fair as they are and they're great they are, Circa, as far as pro gambler they are. Why would they do that? So like this be a lesson, C-Generates. You just gotta buck up. You gotta find a way, and like you look deep down inside and say, okay, I can complain about it, or I can pick myself up, get to work, and figure out a way to come up with a loose 10K. And then something like the Chiefaholic,
SGPN presents Real Men of Degens. Real Men of Degens. We salute you.
Chiefaholic, Kansas City Chiefs fan, famous. He used to wear the wolf mask and he had the jersey that said Chiefaholic. Famous story. And what he started doing, he started robbing banks. Why? Because he wanted to watch his Chiefs. And he bet on the Chiefs, and he won, and he shipped it, and he cashed in under the name Chiefsaholic. I think he got caught robbing banks with the wolf mask on, and he had his jersey on. But he found a way to come up with some extra coin. He was committed. He did it for the team, and that's what I got to do. I'm not going to rob a bank, but I got to figure a way to beg, borrow, and steal. And come up with a better way so I don't have to complain about it and have a great season. Anyway, can't wait. It's a great season. It's a great contest. And you picked the 5 of the week. Almost very damn near cashed. Min-cash last year. We kind of choked down the stretch. But anyway, that's neither here nor there because it's going to be a great weekend. It's always a fun day. And it's fun because it means football's getting close. We're getting to the dog. Pretty soon we'll be in the dog days of summer, that June, July, where there's nothing. Just your baseball. So quit your crying. Anyway. But right now it's Memorial Day weekend. It's the biggest week in racing. The Indy 500, Monaco Grand Prix, and the Coke 600. Rod and Cody from the NASCAR Gaming Podcast, the F1 Gaming Podcast have you covered. Make sure you join their Kyle Larson die-cast car giveaway. That's free to enter. Just go to sportsgamingpodcast.com/race to register and make sure to subscribe to the NASCAR Gaming Podcast and F1 Gaming Podcast. Plus, we're running a mega Memorial Day merch sale. 15% off everything in the merch store. Promo code SGPNMay. So go to the merch store. Get yourself a Bet Detective shirt. Maybe get yourself a triple X because you got to, barbecue season coming around here. You know what I mean? Now you got to tighten it up. So yeah, all merch, SGPN May, all throughout May. That's a fun little thing. Fun little thing. All right, we're back. Let me show some. Oh boy, I did that one wrong. Did I do this thing right? Am I? Doesn't feel like I promoted today's show as well. It's all right. It doesn't matter. You know what? I feel good about me. It doesn't matter who's listening, who's not. I know I'm here. All right. Let's get into the bombs for the weekend here. Then I'll get into what I did. What I talked about. Circa Contest, Memorial Day. There's a lot of other stories here. But let's get into the NBA bombs. Tonight is, I believe, is Indiana-Boston Game 2. Now, we were on Boston and we were on the over Game 1. So we chopped those bombs. I thought Indiana coming off that Game 7 versus the Knicks series, they would have a letdown. The Celtics usually tank it in Game 2, not Game 1. This time they're like, yeah, let's get it out of the way early. You know, we're gonna be terrible at one of these games. Let's do it Game 1, and they did, and they flat out should have lost the game. They weren't terrible. I mean, to be honest with you, Indiana just looked like the better team a little bit. But it was a lot of pace, a lot of points. No one could stop the other team. And Indiana, down the stretch, should have won the game. Tatum was choking. Everyone was choking. But then the Pacers like, you know what? I don't like the way these guys, Celtics, are out trying to out-choke us. Let's out-choke them. And Halliburton, Jesus, what was he doing? That last minute, he just walked right out of bounds, it seemed like. They're up 3. He's well up that he just dribbled, and he wasn't even under any pressure. He just fucking ran it out of bounds like he was like one of those like electric football guys that were going, he's heading towards the sideline. Luckily then the Celtics missed, and then of course they got the inbound and whatever. They had the ball up 3 with 9 seconds to go. All they did was inbound the ball, get to the line, make a free throw, do that a couple times, and it's over. Fans were leaving. It was so much over. But Carlisle doesn't call a timeout. They don't call a timeout. They inbound it underneath their basket, basically. Gets tipped out of bounds, turnover. That seems like it's happened a couple times this year in the NBA playoffs. And, I mean, in the Pacers' defense, jerseys were being grabbed. It's amazing what the refs miss or let go in the final minute here. I mean, jerseys, you can't just fucking grab his jersey like that. I think there's too many ticky-tack fouls in the NBA, but that shit has to be called. Anyway. Then the Celtics get the ball, down 3, and you know what Rick Carlisle is going to do. He's not going to foul. Even though everyone knows you're supposed to foul. If you're up 3, you foul them, you put them on the line, make them make the first free throw, have them miss the second, try to get the rebound and put it back in. You don't say, well, if they hit the 3, tip your cap. What do you mean tip your cap? Do you watch Rick Carlisle, do you watch basketball? The game you're coaching. They all can hit the 3. Everyone out there can hit the 3. They all throw up 3s. Al Horford is jacking up 12 3-pointers. It's not a problem for these guys. Yeah, they're tough shots. For us, maybe. Not for them. This is all they do. Foul. Guard the line. Who cares if they make a layup? Anyway, they don't foul. Jaylen Brown's a 3, and then that's all she wrote. Once that goes overtime, forget it. Good night, nurse. So the Celtics sneak one out. Pacers choked it away. So now we go to Game 2. Boston -9, 224.5. Also, everyone's saying they should have fouled, and they should have. Siakam should have fouled him. He had a chance to foul him early. Although he had to fight over a screen, which that shouldn't have been a thing either. There should have been switching. Just guard the 3-point line. Remember LeBron James tweeting out, "That's why I told y'all, always foul," tweeting out. He's just this drunk old man dad. He cannot wait. He's already getting into podcast mode with Redick. These NBA players just love especially when they retired. I love getting these podcasts, just drinking and just sitting on their porch telling what they should have done. Oh my God, how annoying must that be if you're currently playing or coaching? That's why I told you. Yep, LeBron, you told us. You told everyone to foul. I will say this, Carlisle. This has happened to you 5 times already this playoffs. It happened twice in the same game versus the Bucks. It's amazing how he just doesn't learn his lesson. Anyway, so they play again tonight. Now, this is an interesting series. All of a sudden, a lot of people think, well, that was your chance to steal game 1. It's over now. They're going to get swept by a much better team. And that could happen. But if you actually watch the game, I mean, without Porzingis, the Celtics are a little less than they are. With Porzingis, yeah, I kind of agree with you. And he might come back for game 3, as I said. But the Pacers looked like just as good as a team as Boston did the other night. They're running up and down. Now, Halliburton's not 100% healthy. No one really talks about that. But they are... yeah, they're a problem. They put a lot of pressure on them. They got some old guys, some young guys. Al Horford looks old. We're going to fade Al Horford, by the way. I'll preview that in the underdog fantasy. But so normally a zigzag would be in a place. And you go, okay, well, you come back, Boston later the points, maybe even an under. But I don't see how the under. I mean, first of all, if you want to bet the under, have fun. Good luck. That's not fun when you play a Celtics Pacers. The Pacers do not play defense, and they do play. Now they don't chuck up threes like people think they do, but they're just scattered. They're all over. They don't. The fun thing about the Pacers offense is they don't know what they're doing. You know, they're like, this might be threes, might be an alley-oop. Hell, we might throw it in the stands. Who knows? We're not going to decide until we are jumping in the air. So that's why it's hectic and it's hard to guard because they don't even know what the hell's going on. So that being said, we're going to go right back and just do the same. I don't see why to get off it. There's just too many points. I'll take the Pacers plus the 9 again. And over, it ticked up a couple points, 224.5. I don't care. I think these games, and especially the ones in Indiana, if this loses, it loses. I don't care. We're coming right back at it in Indiana as well over the weekend. I'm just going to keep riding these overs. So let's do it. Over 224.5, and we'll take Pacers plus 9. Bomb those. Captain Sano, welcome to the chat. He likes the Pacers to stick around. He said even Jaylen Brown said I got to get used to the pace. It's true. Jaylen Brown was not happy with their, and nor should they have been. Celtics love to lay an egg in one of these games. That was the problem, Captain. Saying, well, yeah, that's a good point. Like I said, I don't think they laid an egg in game 1. I just think they got outplayed and they got lucky to steal the win. But I don't think they will lay an egg tonight either. Now, the overs for the Celtics first halves have been money. If you want to play that. First half overs, team total overs. People have been playing that. That's all been hidden. Celtics are the money. So you kind of got to take this like it's off of a loss. And the Celtics are great off of a loss. But full game, I'll take the plus 9. But I'll still take the over. Maybe first half Celtics, whatever. Whatever you want to do, get creative with it, C-Generates. Speaking of getting creative, let's do an underdog fantasy. All right? Let me tell you about it. Let me tell you about Underdog. The NBA playoffs are here. Our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy, wants to make it a lot more interesting. It's the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Play in the pick'em game. Simple, selecting higher or lower. Make entries in basketball or mix or match across your other favorite sports. You can win up to 100 times your money. It's available in 30 states, including California, Texas, and even Canada, you Winnipegans. Pull up UnderdogFantasy.com. Put the promo code BOMBS in there. All right? You put in the code BOMBS, you claim your special pick, and first time deposit up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code BOMBS. I'll pull one up right now. Let's put it in there. Let's put in a nice do or die. Do or die. Not do or die. Do or die underdog fantasy parlay. They're going to start doing that now. I should say. Hold on, here we go. Let me put that in there. Let me remove this. Here we go. All right. See, Jonas, you guys want to spend my money? Let's get this higher or lower. I'm gonna pull up a good one. No more messing around here. And I am going to use. I'm going to use a sponsor. See, a lot of people. I think it's a little weird, all the gambling sponsorship. It's a little reckless. But as SGPN, we do use all of the most of the sponsors we use. If they pay me enough, I'll use it. All right, let's get into tonight's game. I'll give a quick over. How about I said Al Horford under. I kind of like that, but I'm kind of liking. Let's see what we can look here. Here we go. Peyton Pritchard over 7.5 points. Let's take a look for Pritchard here. Derek White 16.5. That's pretty high. Miles Turner, man, he had a huge game one. Al Horford 11 points. We're gonna go lower than that. We already said this old man Horford. He's gonna be gassed out there. All right, Sam Howell. Here's Peyton Pritchard. Oh, he's at 8 points. We'll still go higher. All right, we gotta get one more. Now we gotta get one for the Pacers. We'll do a three-way. Here. We'll do. Oh, here we go. Here's a good one. Ben Shepherd. Where did I say it? We're going to go lower. Oh, man, I wanted to get his rebounds. 2.5 rebounds was the play to go lower than that. I don't see it here on Underdog. All right, I'll find another one. Don't worry, C. Generous. I'll find another one. That's a good. How about assists? Ben Shepherd does not like to pass the ball. Let's go to his assists. Let's see if we can get one there. No, they don't have one there for Underdog either. How about TJ McConnell? Nesmith, he had a nice game. You know what? I'm going to go with Nesmith again. That's what I'm going to go with. He plays well versus Boston. How about his par? 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Aaron Nesmith, that's what we'll go with. Higher. So, now we have Aaron Nesmith, higher, 18.5 points, rebounds, assists. Peyton Pritchard, higher than 8 points. Lower than 11 points. Ship that. That pays 6-1. Bingo, bango. Confirm. And there it is. You just saw me spend my entire salary. Just kidding. There it is, right there. There. And we'll stop the screen. All right, we're back, C-Generous. Here we go. That was a parlay brought to you by Rhythm. And their algorithms for that. Woo, boy. French Lamagna. French Lamagna. I'm sorry. I don't know. I call you French because of Rudy Gobert. He is in the chat room. He says he went to a dinner party that turned into a hockey watch party that turned into a political argument. Had to dip out. Being degenerate. That sounds fun. Another one, throwing some arguings in there and the hockey. Dinner party. I like a dinner party that breaks into a game. I hate a dinner party that doesn't have the game on, and when everyone knows there's a game on, there's that feeling. I'm not saying we got to watch the game 100%, but I just need it on in the background behind me in the other room so I can dip in, see a score or something. I'll still be polite. I'll be engaging in the dinner party. I'm a hell of a dinner party guest. But when there's that silence, can we just turn off the TV, please, for a second and enjoy our meal? I can't enjoy the meal unless the TV's on. How about that? Get a lot of that for Thanksgiving, of course. Can we just watch? No, we cannot. ML Says, what's up, C. Generous? He says, the well that is Nesmith. Yes, Nesmith. I mean, Nesmith has been cash money. He had a nice game one. That's the thing. A lot of them will have good game twos. A lot of game threes. A lot of series. A lot of points to be had. All right. Where were we? The people have said. People have said. The other game we got Timberwolves and Mavericks, which is tomorrow night, Friday. That line is at 5 over 207.5. That went over game one. I do not think the rest of the series will be high scoring. You have Minnesota that plays great defense, and they lock down when they lose. You could tell Minnesota was not themselves game one, which is a shame because I took Minnesota. I still like them in the series. You get them at a good series price of plus money right now. Matter of fact, let me take a look. What are they right now? The same reason why I took Boston game one is because I thought the Pacers, especially off a quick turnaround of game 7, going from New York City, these Indiana farm boys going from New York City to another big city in Boston, thought they'd be tired, but they weren't. So I'm like, well, all right. If that's the case, because then I was going to take Dallas game one because, well, Denver, Minnesota just had a tough 7-game series versus Denver, obviously, in the altitude, like they're playing in the moon. But then I saw what the Pacers did. I'm like, oh, well, maybe they ride the momentum. We'll switch off. I like these guys anyway. Anyway, Mavericks are minus 150 in the series. T-Wolves plus 130 according to Bet Online. So I like the T-Wolves at plus. I like grabbing the T-Wolves plus 130 right now, by the way. For the series. I think it goes 7. I thought it was going 7. We hammered the over 5.5 games anyway. I think it's definitely going 7. Or at least 6. Or it could be 5. Who knows? But I will say this. Some of the experience of Anthony Edwards is starting to show. Game 1, he was bad. Game 7, he was bad. The T-Wolves, they're kind of inconsistent. But their defense travels, and the defense will always be there. Meaning that I think they will lock down on Dallas. And the Dallas, they like to take games off too. Luka and Kyrie, Luka's got old man injured knees and ankles are all wrapped up. He's got arm bands on his knees and ankle bands on his elbows and all kinds of shit going on in there. So I love the Timberwolves to bounce back tomorrow night. -5. We'll take that. Bomb that. I also like under 207.5. Bomb that. And I think those totals will start creeping back down towards 200 as the series goes along. I think that was definitely an anomaly game 1. Game 1 overs go a lot in the conference finals. You had Jalen McDaniels going crazy, just hitting all his threes. Good for them. They were scoring at a weird clip, the clip that Dallas likes to play in, even though Dallas has had number 1 defense since March in the league. Cat props Feach wants to tell you about. If that's what you're asking about, Cat Feach. Well, let's see what I think about Cat. The props are I've been riding Nas Reed. I wrote him over 9.5 points game 1. He had 15, I believe. If I was going to play a Karl Anthony Towns prop, I'd play his under or lower if I'm on underdog for his rebounds. 8.5, I believe it's at. He just doesn't play. He just with Gobert and Nas Reed. He just doesn't play strong. He called himself the best shooting big man of all time. Which okay, whatever. Karl Anthony Towns. He's a weird dude. People would be talking about more how they don't like Karl Anthony Towns if it wasn't for Rudy Gobert. They have 2 very unlikable centers. Not unlikable, I'd like them fine, but they're just like, I don't know, there's something weird about them. Black Twitter does call him Big Purr for a reason. Black Twitter. Is that documentary on Hulu coming out yet? I always said, listen, they're talking about the TV contracts with the NBA and how they're going to leave TNT and it's going to go to NBC. And I know everyone's doing having the funeral services for inside the NBA right now, and the money they're going to be getting, and salaries are going to be like $100 million a year, something crazy like that. Shane Gilgeous-Alexander can get like $80 million next year, something insane. And I've been saying this from day one. Who should get some residuals and a chunk of this new TV contract is Black Twitter. Black Twitter pushes this league. It drives this league. It motivates this league. The insults. Kyrie Irving said he was motivated by Anthony Edwards' comments. All he said was, I got Kyrie. That's all he said. He didn't say anything. Black Twitter puts memes up there, how he's Jordan's kid, and TNT. Barkley's like, you woke the bat. Like, what are you talking about? Anyway. So, yeah, I like Minnesota on there. But, yeah, TNT, RIP, if this really is the last time we're going to see TNT cover the NBA, this will probably be their final series, right? They're in Minnesota. The old bring your ass to Minnesota. That fun thing. I saw this out on Twitter, and I agree with the sentiment. First of all, Charles Barkley, Ernie Johnson, the Kenny Smith Shaq, that show, which is great. Everyone knows how great it is. I don't think it's going anywhere. Just because TNT lost the rights to basketball, they'll get hired. It's like when Letterman moved from NBC to CBS. There was a whole goodbye thing. Like, oh, all these great Letterman memories. And someone came on there and was like, you're just moving, right? You're just moving down down the street to the Ed Sullivan Theater, to a different network from Channel 3 to Channel 10. Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, Ernie Johnson, they'll be on a network. If NBC doesn't bring them in, ESPN should fire every single person in their pregame show and just insert the TNT show. You know how you gave Pat McAfee $100 million and say, hey, do whatever you want. Call people cuzzo and have Aaron Rodgers talk about the flat earth and vaccines. Whatever you want to do. Because men like other men in tank tops, apparently. Do the same shit with Barkley and Kenny Smith and Shaq and Ernie. Hey, Big Perk, Stephen A., and whoever the fuck else is jammed in here. Get out. Yeah, get the hell out of here. You know how we were trying to copy these guys? And the only problem is no one likes you, but they all like them. Yeah, so we just hired them. People like them. They don't like you. That's what ESPN should do. Or NBC. But, as we know, John Tesh said it on the Dan Le Batard show. NBC has been in talks with him, getting back the song. Anyway. How about Barkley last night going off about Caitlin Clark haters? Basically women. Hey, all women. He starts out off, hey, all the women out there, stop being petty. As soon as he goes, hey, all women, you're like, oh, my God. This is going to be interesting. They don't like this. But he's calling about Caitlin Clark. First of all, what Caitlin Clark haters are you talking about? LeBron did the same thing. That's what he did. He quoted LeBron's tweet. LeBron, you're 100% right. She's getting you private, and she is giving Caitlin Clark's getting you private jets and shit. But like, I don't know. Just like people have said. That should be a segment. People have said. Jamel Hill does it. Had something too about like, yeah, it would be crazy. The people have said make it easier for her. They didn't do that with Magic and Bird. Why would they do that for her? That's what I said. Who the fuck are these people? If you're basing it off the internet, then yeah, people have said every side of every opinion. You could just pluck it out. Yeah, people have said, so here I am fighting them off. But good for Barkley. People have said Caitlin Clark, shut what? The players themselves. Maybe they don't like him. I don't know. The fuck do I know? People have said. You know what? They're right. People have said. That when I start doing it in my life, and I've been doing it too, well, people said, and then like you talk to someone who's not on Twitter and like anywhere else online, not as online as you are, and like, what are you talking about? Is that what people say? I'm like, oh yeah, you don't know that? Oh, that's what everyone's saying. And you realize, no, they're not. They're not saying that. That's what's happening on fucking line. Feach says he wouldn't mind if they left Kenny behind. He used to joke around, but the second he bought those glasses, he pretended to be a serious analyst, and it kills the flow. And he does get a little too serious, that's for sure. Kenny. He gets those intellectual glasses on. He goes to North Carolina. He's not as fun. But, you know, they all play their roles. I disagree. You can't have just Shaq, Chuck, and Ernie. You do need Kenny. You need Kenny to glue a little bit. He's the bridge between Ernie, Shaq, and if you had just had Ernie, Shaq, because Chuck, Barkley's a star. Shaq is just a fucking bully meathead, but he's Shaq. He's a giant. What can you do? What are you going to tell him? Not to get on the set? He's a giant. He'll stomp you. What's that, Chuck? What do they say, Chuck? What those women in San Antonio say, Chuck? What do they eat? They eat churros, Chuck? Churros? As Anthony Marte says, you do. You need multiple people for Shaq to make fun of. And if he just starts yelling about rings and championships, you need Kenny's championship ring. I'm telling him right now. What's that, Chuck? When he starts, no, not doing that. Well, I just defended my guy, SGA. I told Jokic that he doesn't deserve the MVP, and I wish he'd get off my show, as we had him on as a guest. But, you know, we're big man society. He's a stat stuffer. I like his argument for SGA was that he's a stat stuffer, and then they pointed out that actually it's Jokic that's a stat stuffer. SGA just scores points. I mean, he does more than that, but still, that's not the argument for SGA. Anyways, all right. Oh, geez, Louise, the show got away from me. Those are my two NBA bombs. We're going over Pacers, T-Wolves, and the under tomorrow is the one I really like. People have said, I got to tell you about Rhythm. Because if you are betting the NBA player props, you need to download Rhythm. And I 100% agree with this. Rhythm gives you a menu of the best player props for every single NBA playoff game, making it easy to go through and find the best props to put your money on in seconds. Rhythm's predictions are backed over 3 years of data, teams of data scientists and quants that focus on fine-tuning the algorithm to give you the best shot at winning. Rhythm pairs its predictions with player props graphs to help feel even more confident. Nothing makes you feel more confident than seeing a graph of a pick, right? Like USA Today. That's why they throw a pie chart on there, so it makes it real. From superstars to bench players, Rhythm finds the best player prop lines, all backed by AI data, without you needing to endlessly scroll a sports book. Start a free 7-day trial today and start winning your NBA player props with Rhythm, available wherever you get your apps. That's Rhythm, RITHMM. I use Rhythm. They gave us accounts for it, and they're great. That's how they love Nas Reed again tomorrow night. So I'll give that out. Nas Reed, they bumped it up to 10.5. It doesn't matter. Get those Nas Reed tattoos free of charge. Did you hear that? Nas Reed, 6th Man of the Year. We cashed out as well. Some tattoo parlor said we'll give you out free Nas Reed tattoos if you get Nas Reed's name tattooed on you, and like 500 or 1,000 Timberwolf fans got it. Like, what? All right. That'll be fun to explain to your grandkids. Dad, who's Nas Reed? Granddad? Grandpop, who's Nas Reed? Oh, he was a hustle guy for a sport back when players only made $50 million a year instead of the $1 billion a year they make now. Oh, did they win a chip? No, they didn't really win. You'd get he would get this things that wouldn't fill up in a stat sheet. So I thought I'd get a tattoo of him. We made a run for it. I got it on my hand. I really wish I didn't do that. I couldn't get a job afterwards. It definitely hurt my dating opportunity once your grandmother left me. And she left me as soon as I got a Nas Reed tattoo on my hand immediately that day. And then I was out there in the dating scene. Back then, we used to use apps. Bumble and Tinder and, well, in some cases, Grindr. And, things didn't work out there well. I thought I'd find at least a Timberwolf fan. And they also didn't like that I had another man's name tattooed on my hand that would hit occasional couple 3-pointers from the corner. But anyway, I'm a big fan and wish that team didn't move as all franchises move. Anyway, Alfred 44 said, welcome to the chat. He says his car just died and he needs the Bet Detective. Listen, the Bet Detective will not help you with your car. I don't know. The Bet Detective is not on that case. The Bet Detective is on. I can find out why the parlays have failed you. I can't find out why your carburetor failed you. But welcome to the chat anyway. Now, Ronnie Pasco, DJ Ronnie Pasco from the Music Mix crowd, he joins the chat room. He says, my girlfriend got rid of me because I got a tattoo of Tesh. Now that, you won on that deal, my friend. My girlfriend walked out on me, and she signed a lease, and now I got nowhere to go, but I got a John Tesh tattoo. All right, we're back here. Anyway, Alfred says he needs the money to fix the car. LOL. I get you what you're saying. You need the Bet Detective to help you out, to get you some money, to get your car fixed. Well, teach a man to fish, that kind of situation. All right, well, then we'll get into some hockey bombs. We got some ice bombs. This is my favorite part of the season. And Dallas, who plays tonight versus Edmonton. We already have Dallas in the series. It's minus 110. Tonight's game is a coin flip, I believe, again at home. Edmonton coming off a 7-game series. Now, hockey, this kind of works out, although it didn't work out with Boston and Florida as well. See, that my whole thing is starting to flip with teams off of 7-game sevens and then the team waiting on it. Tonight's line is Dallas minus 129, over under 6, puck line plus 200 for Dallas. I love Dallas tonight. You want your car fixed, Alfred? You play the Dallas Stars tonight. Minus 125. You played on the puck line of 2-1. Bomb both of those. One of the fun things you get when you get New York, when you get cities that have 2 teams in the playoffs, like Dallas. They have the Mavericks and they have the Stars. You get a lot of buzz going on, a lot of fun, a lot of good atmosphere. You have the same thing going in New York, and we predicted that. We predicted once the Knicks lost, then you have that after party at the Garden with the Rangers game 1. It's going to be that death feeling is going to be in the air, and they're going to lose. And that's exactly what happened last night. We predicted that. We were on Florida last night to win 3-0. And I mean, that stadium was dead. Why? Because the Knicks party. You never want to go to the cleanup after the party, especially when it's, they're jamming confetti back into the cannons and into the garbage bags. Now, I think they'll bounce back. Now, Dallas, they're riding high. They're riding that momentum. They got the game 1 win. They're not going to know they lost game 2 until tomorrow. That's why we're hammering the Dallas Stars tonight off of a they've been sitting for a couple days. And first of all, they look like the best team. Them and Florida look like the 2 best teams. I do believe they will be Stanley Cup. Edmonton, how that game series went 7 with Vancouver, I don't know. They just mess around too much, Edmonton. And Connor McDavid, is not healthy. I'm looking at some Conn Smythe trophy. I do like giving those out as well. Leon Draisaitl, if you do like Edmonton, you don't take Connor McDavid is a favorite for the Oilers, which he doesn't even lead the team in points. Leon Draisaitl, he gets a goal like every game. Anyway. Hockey's so funny because Derek Conn Smythe, which is the MVP, they do the MVP of the entire playoffs, not just like the finals. So you can really find some good values in there. Jake Ettinger's the favorite. I like Dallas. So that's one way to play it at plus 450. But there's some guys down the line who I really like. And tell you what, Matthew Tkachuk is sneaking around in there. Florida plays the Rangers tomorrow. 5.5 is the total. No, I like the Rangers to even the series. They have to bounce back after that kind of game. You would think they would. They are the President's Cup trophy winners who always have a bad history in the hockey playoffs. The most points. You don't want that. But at the Garden, if they don't win this game, they're really screwed. What I do like, though, is the over, 5.5. Bobrovsky was great. Shut him out. These two teams, I think we have an edge here because there was only 3 goals last night. There was a couple goals taken away. That's the thing with instant replay in hockey, too. Instant replay in hockey is solely used to take away goals. Not cool, hockey. Not cool. Anyway. Before last night, here's a good stat for you, C-Generates. Florida and the Rangers, when they played head-to-head, the over was 18-1-1. Now it's 18-2-1. Why? Because I took the over. But I'm going to go right back with the over 5.5. We're going to bomb that. And the Rangers tie it back up. That's my ice breakdown. I do like Dallas a lot tonight. This double city. And then the Rangers to bounce back off the mat. Because it was just an absolute funeral last night. That'll be a Friday night at the Garden. That's where you want. That's when New York starts popping. They'll tie that up. So that's it. That's NBA and NHL for tonight and tomorrow. Memorial Day. Maybe we'll do a show Memorial Day Monday. I'm not sure if it's Monday or Tuesday. Stay tuned for that if you want to do barbecue. I'm not done, though. Let's talk a little bit about that the PGA story. Just Scotty Scheffler videos came out today. The arrest videos. Not good enough, Louisville police. Boy, there's a lot of talk. If you haven't seen it, there's nothing to it. It's nothing great. They don't show the interaction, but they showed the Lexus going around the bus and then this cop in a yellow jacket sprinting, running, and jumping on the hood. Like I said, TJ Hooker style. What are you doing? What are you doing? These are just fucking cops being fucking tyrant authority. I say tyrant because on my algorithm feeds, I get all these videos for First Amendment auditors, they're called. Which all they do is they videotape public town halls and like go inside buildings, government buildings, and wait for cops to fucking threaten to arrest them. And that's all they do. I know the Constitution is a constitutionally protected activity. You swore an oath to uphold the Constitution. You can tell. Which, all right. I know the cops can be bad, but sometimes I'm like, all right, these guys are just trying to get through the day at work. Why are you fucking with them like this? I'm working on a story. See, listen, the cops do have to be kept in check. And this guy obviously went over the top, wrongfully arrested Scotty Scheffler, just fucking, whatever. Wrong. Was Scotty Scheffler guilty? I don't know. Why was it a wrongful arrest? Because he's Scotty Scheffler. Who cares about the details? What video are you going to show us, Louisville police? Scheffler driving over and killing a cop? There's nothing you can show us. He's Scotty Scheffler. He's the number 1 golfer in the world going to the golf tournament. He's the reason why you're all there. That's why it was a wrongful arrest. And you could tell when he was getting arrested, the other cops were protecting the cameraman. It's like, all right, he's going to jail. Nothing you could do about that. Like, because he thought he was his friend. And he's like, no, I'm with the media. And the cop's like, oh, okay. All right, nothing. Okay, that's fine. And then all they say is, do you know what you guys just did? What's that? Yeah, no, he disobeyed an order, so he's going to jail. No, I know. I get that part. But do you know what you're doing? You're arresting the number one golfer in the world. A couple hours before his tee time. At the PGA. The reason why you're getting paid double it right now. The reason why you're getting paid overtime is because of him. Really? What'd you say his name was? A cook? Chef. Oh, Scheffler. He's a chef. Yep, Scotty Scheffler. Well, he's not coming up on our database. Yeah, no, he's not going to come up in your under outstanding warrants. He's not going to come up there. But he will come up under the Forbes most highest grossing athlete list. One of those lists, maybe, if you have that in your database. So I guess there's the buzz now in the Louisville Police Department, like, yeah, we might have overcharged him. Because the cop is like trying to say, like, his pants, the report was hilarious. Like, he had leg injuries. His pants are now ruined, worth $80. Cop pants are worth $80. I thought you got that at a fucking surplus store. He got punished, this cop, for not having his surprise, not having his body cam on. Why would you not have your body cam on as you're jumping through the air onto a hood of a Lexus SUV? Yeah, the video you don't see much. You don't see like the beginning part. Rodney Pasco says you can hear Officer Barney Fife's voice yelling, Andy, during the video. I mean, come on, Kentucky. Come on, Kentucky. Do you have to be so damn Kentucky about things? They did not drop the charges yet because you know what they do. They want to keep it going so they can hopefully get a deal. And according to Scheffler's attorney, that's not happening. They have no idea what they're in for. With Scheffler's money and his attorney coming through. Yeah, no, we're not making a deal, you fucking morons. You're going to be apologizing is what's going to happen. All right, let's go to the box. All right, we are back here on the Bottom Line Bombs, going into a long weekend. Thank you, C. Generous, for being a part of the show. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button on the YouTube and you subscribe to the Bottom Line Bombs podcast on YouTube, on the Spotify, on the iTunes, wherever you listen to wherever pods are told. Make sure you subscribe and listen. Give me 5-star reviews if you want. Maybe we should do a review contest. The box is hot, ML says. Yeah, go to 5-star review. I don't care if you can write a bad review of me. I don't care. If it's funny, it's funny. I'll put it on the air and maybe give you a Bet Detective shirt. It could be good too. Whatever. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a comment contest and give a Bet Detective shirt. Because I want to buy stuff now that the merch sale is happening, 15% off. SGPN May with your promo code. All right. I talked a little auditors First Amendment. Is that what I want to talk about in the box? They are compelling, those videos. There's one guy, Long Island Audit. He's least respectful. But then you have these knockoff ones there, and they just, like, talk shit. I'm like, good God. A lot of these people are just city workers. Like, they're just trying to fucking get through their day. I'm here to do a Constitution Premium activity. I have business. I want to do a FOIA request. It's always FOIA requests and fucking whatever. All right. Let's get to that. But that's our Constitution, and that's what we should remember this Memorial Day. All right? I love the Memorial Day barbecue. There's always the one downer at the barbecue that wants to tell you how, what this holiday is really about. The lost soldiers, we should be remembering them and not have. All right, calm down. Yes, you're right. But also, can I enjoy my hot dog? off the grill here without you fucking talking about the bloodshed and all the wars and the war atrocities.
How about them Giants, baby? Huh? You bet your ass.
That, of course, is the Uncle Kev. Uncle Kevin, Vietnam veteran. Still alive. I realize you don't do that for Memorial Day. My Uncle Pat, also Vietnam veteran. He is long past. Great soldiers. And I used to talk, I forgot Memorial Day is for the dead soldiers. And then Veterans Day is different. What? Either way. That's what I say. You enjoying Memorial? But you bet your ass I deserve. Okay. All right, Kev. They have great Vietnam stories. Not easy egg to crack. But anyway. But yeah, let them have your bar. I'm saying if you ask those veterans, if you ask our veterans, they would say, shut the fuck up about the war atrocities and enjoy your barbecue. No one wants your barbecue down because of people are talking about dead soldiers. Just that's it, make it American. Throw in the flags. Have the car sales. Have your Memorial Day sales. That's what it's about. That's what commerce in America is all about. I say this all the time. I take my barbecuing seriously. If you're not doing it proper, I'll leave. I know there's better barbecues to go to. I don't want too many guys around the grill. I mean, you can have a conversation around the grill like it's a car. But don't be getting in there. Don't be telling people when to turn things. You let the one man, he's got to control the show. You got to have the proper sauce. I always say that. I don't want a white guy on the label of the barbecue sauce. No, thank you. I want a man named Stubbs on there. Sweet Ray. Baby Ray. Any Ray. All the Rays are welcome. But you get the hell away from my ribs, Paul Newman. You do not belong here. You go to the end of the table with the salads. That's where you belong, Paul. You're lucky we let you keep that racist sombrero on for the salsa you sell, too. And the mustache. I don't know how we let Paul Newman get away with all those cultural appropriations. We're like, whatever. He is good in the Sting, the old blue eyes. He's Paul Newman. Woo! The moms would love some Paul Newman. Redford and Newman, but I was a Newman guy myself. So yeah, they let him put on that sombrero and racist fucking mustache and the toga for the Caesar dressing. That's where you belong. Get out of the barbecue turf, Paul. Leave that for Stubbs. I'm not talking about Brian James. What else are they saying in the box? Movies are back. I'll tell you what else with barbecue. I want a private room, a private eating room. If I want to do mess, see, that's why I usually keep it burger and dog, because if I'm going to do ribs and if I'm going to do wings, and I love wings on the grill, but I don't want to do a mess, if there's other people around and women and whatnot and just babies and dogs alike, and they're looking at you. I want a tent that's just for eating. You can know there's solitude, kind of like a porta john, but obviously more sanitary. And partisan, like voting booths, where you can get your real eating in. We can get dirty with it. Maybe a change of clothes after the stains, because stains are coming. Stains are coming. Then you can go out and socialize with your solo cup. Play some fucking bags. Or washers if you're a greaseball Italian. The garbage bags too being around. You got to have plenty of garbage. I don't know. I'm saying barbecue should be a little messy, but separate messy. Anyway, it should go. We're at an hour. I was going to talk about Planet of the Apes. I saw Planet of the Apes the other day, but I'll save that for next week because quite frankly, there wasn't much to talk about. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's show. We are at an hour. I should wrap this up. It's a holiday weekend. The box is hot. Have fun, degenerates. Memorial Day. Enjoy your barbecue. Make sure you get a barbecue. Our soldiers died so you can have a hot dog. A proper hot dog off a grill. A burger off a grill. And not for some goddamn Karen to tell you about how this is for soldiers and we should be mourning and all that shit. No way. You drink some Pabst Blue Ribbon. Thank you for your service, ML says. I do feel like I should finish with that Uncle Pat story, which I tell a lot. Yeah, I'll say that for the actual Memorial Day. Either if I do a show on Monday. I've told it before, but it's a great one. How Uncle Pat shut down a Bob Hope show in Vietnam. That's a teaser for you. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at CJ Sullivan was taken for Instagram at CJ Sullivan _ for X. Make sure you like the button to YouTube, subscribe, all that shit. Subscribe to all the other SGPN shows too. The main show, the UFL show, which is coming up next. Me, Colby D, and J Mark. We do the UFL, although it's kind of the garbage time weeks before the playoffs start. But we have a fun show. Even if you don't like spring football, you get more of me. You get more Dundee and J Mark. It's we have a good time. Other than that, yeah, you can subscribe to my other podcast, The Blackout Diaries, which is a fun drinking story comedy show that I do with my buddy Sean Flannery. He's a comic in Chicago. Absolutely hilarious. That's also something great to get into. But, other than that, have a great holiday weekend. I'll be back to you for Memorial Day. And now that's it. Thank you, everyone. Well, man, just end it, CJ. Who are you talking to at this point? I know I'm talking to. Talking to all you veterans out there.
How about them Giants, baby? Huh? You bet your ass. How about them Giants?